Hello and welcome everyone to this Human Rights Commission meeting. Today is Monday, March the 11th, 2024, and it is 5:31 p.m. And I would like to call this meeting to order. Can we please begin with roll call?
Yes. Commissioner Flood,
Present.
Commissioner Cleary has let me know he will be absent. Commissioner Rinky.
Here.
Commissioner Horn,
Present.
Commissioner Greer,
Here.
Commissioner Remus,
Present.
Vice Chair Vignolo,
Present, sorry.
Chair Loyola,
Present.
Student Representative Hanner, and Student Representative Figueroa. Not present.
Okay. So we're gonna move on to item number 4 in the agenda, which is the acceptance of the agenda. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda? So we have a motion by Commissioner Horn. Do we have a second?
I second.
Commissioner Remus second. Any discussions? All those in favor, please raise your hand, say aye for the record.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so the agenda has been approved as it stands. I'm gonna hold my comments to later in the agenda, but right now we're going to move to item number 5, which is public comments, and we believe we have someone here to provide public commentary.
Yes, Mr. David Christian.
Okay, Mr. Christian, if you could take a seat over there. And I just want to remind everyone that this time has been set aside for members of the public to address the Human Rights Commission on agenda items and items of general interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission. 3 minutes will be allowed for each speaker. Although the commission values your comments, pursuant to the Brown Act, it generally cannot take any action on items not listed on the posted agenda. Commissioners will not enter into a discussion with speakers, but during commission comments, you may refer to the matter to staff for report and recommendation at a future commission meeting. Welcome, Mr. David, please state
Thank you
your
very
name for the record.
I'm David Christian. I live at 431. Oh, am I off?
Mike,
There we go. Is that better? Okay. Commissioners and Mayor Bernstein. Thanks for this opportunity to speak. I'm David Christian, 431 Bellagio, in Palm Springs. This is my 54th year here. And it's frightening to say things like that. First, I'd like to thank you for giving some indications that you won't accept any more exhibits or reports that are submitted anonymously. We have a huge issue with the memorial report that came from this, and I'm aware that a lot of you were not here when that came through, which basically was we think irreparably damaging Frank Bogert's reputation, and is now being used as cornerstone for a potentially $2 million suit against the city. The good news is I'm not going to read this. It's a letter for each of you, and including you, Mr. Mayor. And it's 4 or 5 pages of facts about Frank Bogert that you might not be aware of. And these are all related to his interactions with minorities in the city of Palm Springs over a lot of years. And a lot of this is well documented, and we think goes a lot to showing what his true character was. So anyhow, thanks for this opportunity. And I'll look forward to more good news coming from you.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Christian. Thank you, appreciate it. We're gonna move on to item number 7 in the agenda, which is the approval of minutes. Do I have a motion to approve minutes?
Can I just ask, where in the agenda is commission comments?
That would be one of our,
I don't see on the published agenda where it says commission comments. So my question is, how can commissioners enter into discussion with speakers, but during commission comments may refer the matter to staff a report and recommendation at a future commission meeting.
Yes, there do not appear to be commission comments on the current agenda, Mr. Vice Chair.
Okay,
Since we already voted to accept the agenda,
this is not a question about the agenda, this is a question about, there was a published public comment. And we're not even
yeah,
engaging
how do we deal with this?
the public comment.
Since we already approved the agenda as it stands and there's no item for commission comment.
How do we refer the matter to staff for report and recommendation at a future commission meeting? I specifically would like to refer the matter raised by Mr. Doug Evans in the public comment that was submitted this morning for staff to report and recommend how we address Mr. Evans's concern.
Okay, so I have a recommendation for the commission would be on item number 10, which is agenda items for the next HRC meeting. That we include this as an item. To make sure that we properly set aside for every agenda time for commission comments. And to address and to make comments additional to public commentary testimony.
Okay, are we gonna respond to Mr. Evans' public comments or just ignore Mr. Evans' public comments?
If I can just put in here for a sec, if you want to put it onto a future agenda, that would be an item 10 to discuss it. But you should not really be having a discussion about it without it being a new topic. And I don't know what the email is, but without having it been put on the agenda is how it should actually work. And with any discussion the commission has, if it doesn't fall under an agenda item, and you can have general ones about new business, that's fine. But you don't want to have a whole discussion on a specific topic without it having been agendized. So I would say at number 10, if everybody wants to put it onto a future agenda, you can decide that then,
Okay,
and then I would do that, and then that way it can be discussed.
Yeah, I have a question. Is there a precedent to directly respond or respond at a later date to public commentary?
If you look at number 5, how we deal with public comments, that's how we follow. It has to be followed, as in public comments, number 5. This is how we engage with this.
Well, but it says here, not to enter a discussion with speakers, but after the comments, is there any?
It would be that item that's missing in the agenda today, which would have been,
But I'm wondering,
time for us.
previously, was there any, like in the city council?
Generally, a council person can respond to public comment during the discussion, but not have a discussion on the council on it. So there is a difference then, because if they are deliberating or if they may come to any decision even, you can't do that without having it previously agendized. So an individual commission member can say, I would like to respond to public comment in this way at the appropriate time, but they cannot have a discussion.
and I don't even want to respond to Mr. Evans, I simply wanted to ask Jay, is there any truth to Mr. Evans's complaint that today's agenda packet did not include all the materials that we're gonna talk about on today's agenda? To push it off to the future is.
Right. So,
Totally.
commissioners, the agenda was posted last Thursday. And I sent you an email letting you know it was posted. And this morning I did send you, additional information, that is part of this agenda package. And that additional information was added to the online posting of the agenda.
So we did have all the material was
posted
available to the public.
online, yeah,
Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes
that's
or
correct.
no?
Right, yes.
Yes, that's all I wanted to know.
okay, thank you for that. So we're gonna move on with the next item in the agenda, which is the approval of minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Mr. Chair, I would ask for, two corrections in my title. It is no longer Community and Economic Development Director, it is Housing and Community Development Director.
Noted. And what's the second item, Jen?
But it's my title appears twice, so it's both of those times.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the amendment as amended.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Commissioner Rivas, second. Any further discussion? Those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye for the record.
Aye.
The minutes are approved as amended. We're gonna move on to items for discussion and action, and we're gonna start with remarks by the Honorable Mayor Jeffrey Dunster. Mayor, Mr. Mayor, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Chair Loyola, and thank you everyone for allowing me to be here. I do want to, most of all, thank you all for your hard work on this commission. We have a lot of commissions in the city, and I don't think our city would really run properly without our commissions and the work that you do. And all volunteer. It's often not thanked. So I want to make sure to publicly thank all of you for giving up your time and effort. And especially with this commission, which is such a, noble cause to make our city better. It's really honorable that you're all choosing to serve on this commission. So thank you, and I know I share the sentiments of council because this has come up on several different occasions. I also want to just address, and this will actually partly address one of your concerns, is there was a period of time where there was a council liaison in every commission who went to every single meeting. And at one point that was eliminated. To some extent, I can understand as the number of meetings that have happened in our city with different organizations have burgeoned in the last few years, and it is almost impossible to go to every single one. That said, what I am well aware of is that many commissions, could use more council advice or some feedback, or at least to be able to bounce ideas off of if within the limits of legality. So I will, and I have spoken before, I will offer to be the unofficial council liaison to this commission. I'm happy, I will not make it to every meeting, I can tell you that, just because of my schedule. But I will certainly come if there's a specific issue, and I will try to come on an occasional basis. But I will also make myself available, really to anyone, but mainly to the chair and vice chair to speak with, and this is the example that vice chair brought up earlier about not understanding the process is exactly something that you could have contacted me today about. And in that case, I could have consulted with Jay Barada, and determined, whether it was appropriate for him to say something in the beginning or me to say something or the chair to say something. So that's part of that is just, I think will help in the process. I know that, it's a little bit difficult because according to Brown Act, there's limitations on what we can do, and it's not always, and even sometimes council's asking the city attorney questions on this. So for clarification. So I don't want anyone to feel like they don't have full support of, you certainly have Jay's support and you have my support as well. So I know that there's been other questions and issues that have come up regarding, the role of the commission and the importance of it and direction it should take. All of you are really the experts on this, on the work of this commission, but I'm happy to be here to give feedback and also I think there's probably ways with your permission, I could forward issues that have been raised within to the city council and saying this might be an interesting topic for the Human Rights Commission that have come up. This has come up recently, and I don't want to add any agenda items, but discussions have been made about people with physical disabilities and how our city is addressing. There's a number of programs that are going on, and So I don't wanna add agenda item again, but I'm just saying there were things that have come up and it would be, great if I could call, the chair or vice chair and say, here are, things that you might wanna discuss with the commission for potential future agenda item. Those are my main remarks on this. I'm gonna stay for most of the meeting. I do have to leave a little bit early. If you have a suggestion for how you think I could best interact with the, commission and support really the work that you do, you know, please let me know, please reach out. But any of you, if you have a concern, you know, obviously, there's a format for it or questions, but my phone number and email is readily available for anyone to contact, at any time, well, don't call me anytime, but but to email or call me during regular hours. Is there anything you wanted me to?
I just want to basically ask if you have a question for the mayor, since we have the opportunity to have him here. If you have any specific question that you'd like to ask the mayor, I think this is a good opportunity to ask it. But I also want to remind everyone that we do have a process for communicating with our city council and staff, and it's basically through the staff liaison, is Director Verada. So if you have something you want to bring to the attention of city council, best ways to follow that format and make sure that we do it absolutely right. But if you don't have any other questions, Mayor, I want to really thank you for making the time to be with us today. This is a really important opportunity for us to show the entire commission and the public at large that our city council is committed to supporting commissions and boards. And it's wonderful to know that you are going to be our unofficial liaison. So you're welcome. You're welcome to join us at any meeting, and you are to be rest assured that we are going to be engaging with you moving forward for sure.
And if I can just add one more thing, I don't know who, if anyone's term expires or if there are any vacancies, I can't remember offhand, but yes, I do know there is actually. Because I know someone resigned. So the application period is open now. And it will run through the end of April. And this is for all our boards and commissions. We are asking that people have attended or watched meetings before they apply for the commission. And we're also asking people, because we're opening all the commissions at the same time, some people may have multiple interests in that way. If there's no room on one, they may be coming out of it. So then the interviews will happen through, basically May and June, depending on which commission it is. We'll have an orientation, which I believe, I don't know if everybody has gone through that. Last year, we developed an orientation with our city clerk and city attorney to understand policy and procedures. And then the terms will start on July 1st.
That's great. As a quick reminder to everyone, we all are required by the city to take the training on the Brown Act. Also to complete and return our Form 700, which is all about personal interest, which is important. If you haven't done so, there's a period for that. But as the mayor points out, if in conversation with other community members, you identify someone who might be interested in applying for the open position to join the commission, the information is on the website and you can share that information with that particular person. So it's important that we share all this. Okay?
I might have a question.
Yes, Michael.
Honorable Mayor, I had brought up before if this commission would be able to review 501c3s in the city, to just interact with them to see what services they provide. Some of them funded by the city, others that aren't. I was wondering if there's a role for us in that particular area.
I would say it would depend on, obviously what the organization wants and what exactly the role that you would be doing. I wouldn't be an advocate for it, but if there's certainly a project that comes up, which I believe probably would, then it seems an appropriate way to do things. Obviously, you have Brown Act, so you can't have multiple meetings, so you would have to go through the process of mentioning something that you have learned in your discovery and you wanted to bring to the board, to the commission. I would advise the chair beforehand if you're gonna talk to anybody, and I would make sure clear that you're not representing the commission on your own, and those are really the main issues.
Commissioner Rickett.
Yeah, would it be, appropriate to make an announcement at One Palm Springs that we have several openings for the?
We're gonna be doing that, the one PS meeting is the general board meeting is tomorrow, and I'm going to be mentioning it there. It has gone out to the city's, notification system and PR and press releases they've done. I believe you participate in one at the one PS, so it is appropriate to, let people know your work and that there's a position open. So, certainly. I mean, the more people who are generally interested, the better.
Any additional questions for the mayor? Thank you, Mayor, very much.
Jay, is there anything you want me to add?
I would just add, and thank you again, Mayor, that the city manager, assistant city manager and deputy city managers going out to all the one PS meetings are also promoting the availability, the openings of, commissions right now too, so.
That's great. Thank you very much for that, Jay. Okay, so we're gonna continue to move our agenda to item 8B, which is to ask the commission to approve an amendment to the Human Rights Commission rules and standard operating procedures to disband the executive committee. And before we get into that, I'd just like to preface a little bit about the importance of taking this into consideration. And it is because the executive committee as it stands right now, which is formed by the chair, the vice chair, and a commissioner at large. The impetus for having the committee more than anything else is to meet before our standard meetings with the full commission to talk about what items to adopt for the agenda. To look at the calendar of events, to really identify what the commission could be doing to move things forward. And it happens that because there's three of us, we are required as committee to agendize our meetings and to also make them public and to invite the public to join pursuant of the Brown Act, which makes that particular work pretty challenging and difficult. As you can imagine, organizing everything, it's just like organizing another standard meeting, making the agenda available 72 hours right there prior to the meeting, so that the public can get access to it. And so, with that in mind, the executive committee as it stands have discussed it and agreed that we feel that we should go back to the time when we would be capturing items for the next standard meeting with the full commission at the end of the standard meeting of the full commission. And that will take care of that particular and very specific need. And that's the impetus for making the recommendation that we no longer necessarily need to have an executive committee. I don't know if the vice chair or our commissioner at large would like to add anything to that.
I think that we had quite a discussion about this, as you can imagine, at the executive meetings. I saw posting of the agenda 72 hours is cumbersome, but also the fact that we have to have in-person meetings here was another feeling that we felt was difficult to comply with. We're not able to use Zoom anymore. Or if you do, you have to have you have to be somewhere where you can have a public meeting and you have to post, and it adds a level of cumbersomeness, if that's a word, that we felt was not rewarded by actually having this process. And the process could just as easily be covered by an agenda item on each of our meetings. So that's why we did this. It was, we did get careful consideration. Apparently, according to Jay, we are the only commission that is working in this process. Everybody else does it. It was either, if you need some form of ad hoc meeting, you have an ad hoc meeting, but with not a standing committee, exec.
Was this a legal recommendation or was this just kind of thought about and discussed within the executive committee?
I'm not sure the recommendation is the right word, but it certainly was under the advisement of our attorney.
Okay.
The city attorney was party to the discussion.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
And I think because we have the rules and standard operating procedures, as you know, we worked on it extensively earlier.
Yes.
Because we have that document, we have to go through the process of amending that document, which is in your packet, to remove the references to the executive committee. And in some places, there's no replacement, it's simply a deletion,
Mhm.
but that's what we'd be voting on,
Mhm.
to
To
approve the
approve, yeah.
rules and standard operating procedures of the Human Rights Commission as amended, which is in your packet.
Mhm.
Was there any other relevant amendments to the rules of operating committee, supervisory committee?
No.
Okay.
This is it. And so with that particular context, I would like to put to the motion in front of the full commission, to disband the role of the executive committee for those particular reasons. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Rinke. Any further discussion? So let's go on the record. Please raise your hand, say aye to vote.
Aye.
So we have a unanimous decision there. Thank you so much, everyone. Item 8C is with regards to establishing an ad hoc committee to review the community service award process. And let me just preface this item by saying that the current process for receiving applications for the community service award is posted on the website. All the information is made available sometime in November, so that people considering nominating individuals or organizations to receive an award will follow that particular process. And we've used the process obviously for quite some time. At this point, we feel that it is important to have an ad hoc committee that could be made of 2 commissioners that really goes into the whole process and looks at ways in which this process can be improved, as to make sure that every application that is received is evaluated and not just on the merits of its face, but also to make sure that the selection process is, clear, it is, and that every individual or every organization that is presented for the commission to, consider, it's completely vetted in a way that makes perfect sense. So the point is that we would like two commissioners to take on the role of evaluating the process, making specific recommendations for the full commission, and that these recommendations are reviewed and adopted by the full commission sometime in October, probably in our meeting in October, so that we can resume to their schedule of sharing with the public the process, invite people to nominate in November, use a month of December to review the applications we have received, communicate with those applicants that have been selected, get their verbal approval that they will accept the nominations, and then make that information available to the public so that we can celebrate the Community Service Awards again in February. So that's the context. Anything you would like to add? Vice Chair, Commissioner Greer?
The only thing I'll add is that, whether I'm on this ad hoc committee and I'm not volunteering for it, I would love other commissioners to step up and have an opportunity to contribute to the work of the commission. But after this year's Community Service Awards and the challenges I think we encountered. I did reach out independently as an individual to human rights commissions across the US that have similar community service award programs to inquire what their process was for receiving and selecting recipients of their awards. And I'm happy to share that information with the ad hoc members of this who take up the challenge of coming up with an improved process for our.
Do we have a copy of the process, presently that we can review?
It's all in the website, on the website, Michael.
Okay,
And it clearly establishes what are the requirements for submitting and dates, deadlines for submission, and then how we communicate to the public, those who have been selected for getting the award. So if you review that, which is also requires people to submit all these applications to our staff liaison, our director, Jay Barada. When these applications come to us for evaluation, they're completely anonymous to us. We don't know who submits those applications, because we would like to eliminate the component of being biased about voting for one person or another person or an organization. That is very important.
so, question, if we're gonna vet anonymous, we're gonna know the candidates, but they're gonna be anonymous for the process. Do we vet them for prejudices and personal? I don't wanna get political about this,
Sure.
I think that's to be determined, Michael, Commissioner Horn. I think currently, if I may speak, currently the process of selecting recipients for the Community Service Awards is that somebody, whether the person who wants to receive the award or a person who wishes to have someone receive it, simply fills out the nomination form, submits it by a date due, and that's it.
Mm,
And we don't.
There is no vetting.
So,
no value.
and so can we investigate them? I know it sounds,
There's no vetting. Well, again, I don't know that we can investigate. I think what we're gonna look for this ad hoc committee is to come back to the commission with its recommendations on how can we improve the current process and make it better. Whatever the ad hoc committee of two recommends, then the whole commission can take that up for discussion. I would suspect we'd want to invite city attorney to weigh in on our
Mhm.
recommended enhancements to
Mhm.
our application process, if you will, before we open it up for nominations in 2024 for awarding them in 20.
okay, I'll offer to sit on that. I did have questions from the process before.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
I can just, what you might wanna do is have the committee, when they come up, is talk to Jay and see if you wanna review with Jay and the city attorney before having a commission discussion. And you can advise at that point, once you come up with what the plan is, and then the commission itself can vote, discuss whether everybody approves.
That's a great recommendation.
I'll volunteer to work with you.
Wonderful. So we have our ad hoc.
The only thing I'll share what I have with Commissioner Lorinky and Commissioner Horn probably in a week or two. I'm busy this week, but the only thing I might ask is that just so we leave ourselves enough time that the two of you
Mhm.
do your work and maybe have something ready, say in August, September.
Right, so work
Let's not wait
backwards,
till
right?
October, we'll be scrambling. to
Yeah,
get
let's
something.
work backwards so that by the time we've had the discussion with Director Varela and then we seek the city attorney's review and basically blessing, that we could, by the time October comes, we have a new
Yeah.
procedure in place and we can confidently feel that we can communicate with the public when we open the process for new applications in November.
And to clarify, Mayor Bernstein, you were recommending that we initially meet with the city attorney as well as with Jay.
I would say you have the committee, ad hoc committee discusses and comes up with what the recommendations, but before discussing it with all the commission.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Make sure it's, you know, and obviously if there's questions along the way, we can reach out to Jay and he can get an answer.
Also, remember that our staff liaison is the person who receives the application, so definitely coordinate with Jay.
Right, and before anybody sees any names or before the whole process is finalized, I think we're gonna work out a draft. And then review it with the city attorney and then bring it back to the full commission. Maybe September?
Mhm. We don't meet in October, we don't meet in August, correct?
Correct. We could call that meeting if you like. And that gives us an extra meeting for any changes to be made in October, so.
That's
Do we
great.
meet in June and July?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The only month that is dark is August,
Okay.
which is the month where the city takes off. Anyway, so this is an item on the agenda, so we need to take a vote. Do I have a motion to approve the Commissioners Renke and Horn to work on this particular ad hoc?
I'd like to make the motion to appoint Commissioner Rinke and Commissioner Horn to an ad hoc committee
Committee?
of the Human Rights Commission to, with its focus on improvements to the Community Service Award program. And the only modification I'd make to the amendment again is to request the ad hoc committee report back its findings and recommendation by the September 2024 regular meeting of the Human
That
Rights
makes sense.
Commission.
Do I have a second? A second. Commissioner Remus, thank you so much. Any further discussion on this item?
Just for clarification, city doesn't take off in August,
Oh,
just the meetings don't.
the meeting doesn't happen.
Jay will attest to.
For the public record, the city does not take off. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for letting us know. Okay, let's do a vote. Raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, it is adopted. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Yes. Item AD, establish an ad hoc committee to review Human Rights Commission related items in the Palm Springs Municipal Code. Vice Chair, would you like to give us a little bit of context on this?
Do we have that? Yes, sure, so. In your packet, again, you'll notice Jay included, thank you, Mr. Parada, for including Title II, Chapter 2.45, which is the section of the Palm Springs Municipal Code that established the Human Rights Commission and laid out it's basically its mission. And it's my understanding that there really hasn't been any revision to this section of the Palm Springs Municipal Code. And so when you read it, you'll notice that there are elements in it that really don't reflect what we do. So I thought it would be a good opportunity for us to, again, for an ad hoc committee of one or two commissioners to take the task on of looking at this municipal code section and come back to the full commission at a future date with recommendations on what we might recommend to council be amended in the municipal code. I think other commissions, committees or boards have done something similar, not many to my knowledge, but I have not done an exhaustive analysis of other committees, boards and commissions, but again, this would simply be to recommend to council, because we have no authority to modify statute. But we want to at least make council aware that there may be elements in the current code that are obsolete or don't accurately reflect what we do. And so maybe we can just make it more current and reflective of our mission.
And so equally important to have, you know, two commissioners, hopefully, if you feel compelled to raise your hand and say, I would like to participate in this particular task.
Yeah, I'll do that one.
Okay, so Commissioner Greer. We need one more commissioner.
I mean, I'm happy to step up and do this one.
Okay, so Vice Chair Vignolo. So Vice Chair and Commissioner Greer. Great, thank you. Let's take a vote.
And I would like to try to accomplish this year.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So
So,
maybe again in the fall, we'll follow the similar process that the mayor suggested for the other Haddock committee, working through Jay and perhaps getting the city attorney's feedback. We'll then come back to the full commission, which we hope will have other members on.
so for the minutes on today's agenda, you say fall, can we agree on the month?
October 1.
Sure.
You think
So
that's doable,
October?
Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I think October is, should be relatively, good. We may want to have some interim reporting in the, as we go through the process. Because if you haven't had a chance to read the code, you'll know that it is really well out of date. And also we have discussed among at our meetings that, we are looking for definitional direction, and I think that might be able to be, expressed better in this whole process of reviewing what the code is, so. As I say, there may be some interim reporting that David and I would like to do and to gather information and we'll continue to make it an iterative process and also to, involve everybody as we go along.
Excellent. Commissioner Rinky, do you have a question?
Oh, I was just gonna say, one of the opportunities is ensuring that the definitions are consistent with current, legal definitions.
Good thought.
Yeah,
Very good.
Mhm.
Okay, so, let's take a vote. Do I have a motion? I motion to have Vice Chair Vignolo and Commissioner Greer lead this work. Commissioner Horn seconds. Any further discussion? Let's take a vote. Say aye, raise your hand.
Aye.
Thank you. Item 8E, discuss and plan for Human Rights Commission participation in One PS Picnic and Community Expo. Let me just start by saying again that this is a fantastic opportunity to interact and engage with our community. It's a beautiful event. We have several organizations, pretty much every city department participates in this particular picnic. And it's really a great opportunity for you to just get out there and talk to the public about your role as commissioner, to listen to what it's in their minds. We usually set up a table, we have information about the commission, we have forms. We'll have as much information as available as possible. But again, it's important that more than just Vice Chair Vignolo and myself do it again, sitting there. So it's an invitation, an open invitation for other commissioners to step up and join this particular event.
What is it?
It's called the One PS Picnic, and this is the organized neighborhoods of Palm Springs.
What's the
Date,
Saturday, March 25th.
Third,
23rd, sorry.
and it starts in the morning, and it usually goes to about 2 o'clock,
it's 11 to 2,
11 to 2.
March 23rd in Wood Party Park.
It's in the calendar, that's also, as part of the agenda.
Mhm. But this will be an opportunity for other commissioners to raise their hand and say, yeah, I'd like to be there.
I will be there.
Okay, Commissioner Remus, wonderful.
There is also free lunch.
Oh, yes.
Unfortunately, I'll be on a Mediterranean cruise.
That's all right, it's understandable. Okay,
Fortunately,
I definitely raise my hand, I'll be there.
So I need to get you the table. Although they provide the table, I think, and the chairs, but I have the skirt.
Do we have a
I
canopy
have
this
the
year?
canopy.
Thank you,
It's
because
never
we
been
baked
used,
last
so
year.
you'll be the first to try to figure out how to set it up.
Mhm.
It's in the box.
We'll figure it
Original
out.
box, but, who do you want? You want me to get it to Jay? To
No, no,
you?
I'll touch base with you and pick it up.
Okay,
Yeah, no problems. Yeah, we
so you have to
certainly.
do it before the 21st.
Okay.
Because I'm out of town on the 21st through the 25th.
I'll follow up with you this week.
Okay.
Wonderful. Okay, so we have our two commissioners. We're gonna do this together, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, and we're motioning this, any second? Okay, second, Commissioner Horn, any discussion? Let's vote, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. So equally important is a discussion and plan for the Human Rights Commission participation in the Harvey Milk Breakfast. This is another fantastic community event that takes place at the Convention Center every year to commemorate and celebrate the life and the work of Harvey Milk. This year is particularly interesting because family member of Harvey Milk will be in attendance. And I just saw the photo in there. Resemblance is just uncanny. But it's always a great opportunity to interact with other members of the community. And they always put together a fantastic program. So I would like to see if we can use this commission stipend to literally get us a table, and the table carries 10 seats. That includes breakfast, the admission, and everything else that we need.
8. You say 10?
10
8.
is 8 tables?
$750 table sponsor gets 8 seats.
Okay, so that's just the 8 of us.
So I'm a major donor to this
Mhm.
event, and I didn't ask for a table. But maybe I can, because I already gave a considerable amount of money. I could try to do that for the commission.
Would there be any conflict of interest?
I don't believe so. Do you do business with the Harvey Milk Foundation?
No.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll talk to I'm sorry, I just blanked on the council person.
Run the heart.
Yes, I'll consult with him
Mhm.
about my donation.
Okay, great. And if needed, again, just to make sure that we understand, we do have a stipend for this
Don't we have
commission,
to vote? Do we?
and we could use that.
I mean, I appreciate Commissioner Horn's offer. I don't know if you'll know before the deadline for submitting the sponsorship form, which is March coming up, I think March 18th or so. But if that fell through, we would not have an opportunity. I guess we could in April vote to expend $750. I don't know if that'd be enough time to secure a table for the May 9th event.
We could vote for the commission to use stipend now,
Okay.
and.
In the event that that falls
Mhm.
through, you'll already have the authorization.
Okay,
Okay.
wonderful.
So
So
that,
I will motion to take a vote on using the stipend, and if we can get approval, does anyone second that motion?
I'll
Commissioner
mention it.
Vice Chair Vignolo, thank you. Any further discussion on this item?
Mr. Chair, I've attended it in the past and I also brought a guest with me, so I guess my guest would not be part of the commission, so I'm still planning to attend, so I'll probably not be sitting with the commission.
Okay,
Thank you.
Good point.
understood.
So am I, if I do get a table, how do we go about populating it.
So what you need to do then is just confirm with Jay that you have been granted because of your generous donation, and that we, as commission, have a table. They will announce which, because they put numbers on the tables, they'll let us know which table has been assigned to the Human Rights Commission.
Okay.
And then Jay lets everyone know that has been assigned, and we make the commitment to show up and be part of the event, engage with the community, sit together, have breakfast and enjoy.
So, okay, so I'll
Fantastic.
contact Ron ASAP.
Do you know what sponsorship level you are?
What?
Do you know what sponsorship level you are? I don't want to get too personal, ask how much you contributed,
$6,000.
but
Six thousand is what I donated.
$5,000 gold sponsor, sound familiar?
I know, I don't follow that. You know, I just do it. I don't know what it is.
All right,
All
Okay,
right, let's move
but I'll,
on.
you know,
confirm it and let us know if we can use the table of 8.
okay.
Okay, great, moving on. So we have motion, we have second. Can we take a vote? Those in favor, say aye. Raise your
Aye.
hand. Thank you. Item G from this agenda is discuss allowing college students to serve as student representatives. And I was prepared to welcome our new student representative, Adriana Figueroa. But evidently she didn't show up. But it's important to, again, remind everyone of the importance of having, students engaged in this civic duty and interest in participating in public work. So the question in front of us is, because there's certain limitations about which types of students could participate up to now, is putting in front of the commission the, I guess, a motion to allow college students to submit an application and join in the future. And I don't know if anyone wants to add anything to that. No?
I think it's already in our rules, standard operating procedure anyway, so.
Just a brief question, process. What is the process for disseminating, this information about the availability for?
It's available in the website, the city website,
Okay,
just like someone would apply for a commission position. Our student representatives submit an application. And Adriana submitted a very, very good application, fantastic. She's also friends with Lily,
right.
and actually Lily was kind enough to provide the background of what it is that we expect student representatives to do.
And my question really has to do about, getting out the message and, and trying to recruit students, from College of the Desert or whatever.
There's no process.
Okay.
It's on the
Can't do it,
website, and it'll be up to the commissioners
Yeah.
through their interactions with the community, say at the 1PS picnic,
Mhm.
or when you do a presentation to 1PS in May, or any other future event that we participate in, to let people know that we are,
I was thinking maybe, disseminating to the high schools or whatever, but we can take this offline.
I mean, yeah. Just
Great.
want to clarify so that everybody understands that, we're expanding it to include high school and college students who reside, work, or go to school in Palm Springs. So,
Right, because currently was that they actually needed to be residents in Palm Springs, right? And so we like to open that to the Coachella Valley. Is that correct? So students,
but that.
Well, so the city council actually expanded the commission to commissions with people who work or go to school in Palm Springs. And so this also brings us into conformance with that.
that's great. That's really good.
Does that mean Indio or?
As long as the student resides or
In Palm
in Palm Springs, or a lot of the CFD students do take classes here as well, and that would constitute go to school or have a job here, any one of those three.
Cause Adriana did not live in Palm Springs, but she went to school in Palm Springs,
Okay,
so.
Past tense?
Hmm.
Is that past tense? She went to school in Palm Springs?
Well,
Is
full
she current-
disclosure, she graduates, as does our other student representative, Lily Hanner, graduates in May.
Oh, okay.
So they're
Mhm.
not going to be student representatives much longer,
Unless they go.
unless they go to college,
Unless they go to college.
you know, but to my knowledge, they're not.
They're not gonna go through the year then.
So we will have no student representatives after Lily and Adriana step down or graduate in May, so.
So that makes it clear, right?
It does.
Okay, anyone feels very strongly that we shouldn't agree on this? If not, I'm motioning, I need a second for the record.
Second.
Commissioner Rinke. All right, let's take a vote. Raise your hand, say hi.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, let's go to the committee and liaison reports. First off is the master calendar liaison report. Vice Chair Vignola, can you lead this, please?
Well, in your packet, you should have the calendars again for March, April, and May. I'm only doing 3 months at a time. I don't know if anybody has anything they want to add to the calendar, just let me know. But this, I believe, accurately reflects events that we've agreed to participate in. Our meetings are reflected on the calendar. The only thing, I guess, we do have the installation of the pillars of Palm Springs, something that previously
When is that taking place?
That's on April 15th, a Monday. I don't know the time. But I just included that on the calendar because we had, as a commission, had someone come to our meeting
Which is a
a month
great,
ago and talked
it's a
about.
great reminder. We should invite Commissioner Armstrong to our next commission meeting on the 8th to provide a follow-up and explain how that event's gonna take place on the 15th. Because Commissioner Armstrong has been actively participating with us in all this.
Commissioner Armstrong.
Gary Armstrong of the Arts Commission.
Oh, the Arts.
Arts Commission,
Yes,
yeah.
we could.
We should.
I just
definitely invite-
included it because I thought maybe something of interest to commissioners if they want to go.
Yeah.
If there's an actual public event, do you know? Is there?
Yeah, there's moving traffic. It's, I think it'll be more of an unveiling.
Oh, is it?
So probably, the installation will already be done. So, the plan is, more just an event for the unveiling.
Mhm.
Oh, so we really don't need to.
But it's up to you. I mean,
Worry about it.
if it's an event, Commissioner Armstrong, Chair Armstrong could explain that to us.
Yeah.
That's what we have in
Where
mind.
is it being held?
It's on Toplitz
Where the
Canyon,
horses are.
East Toplitz Canyon.
Okay,
There's concrete art pads in the median, and it will be in those concrete art pads. And the horses were removed today.
They were removed today?
Yeah.
Oh, they ponied away. So to speak. Great, but if Commissioner Armstrong would like to provide us with any kind of update, he's certainly welcome to join us. Just like he did in the past. Yeah.
And then the other, for May, May 13th is our regular meeting, Monday, May 13th. I believe that will be the last meeting for Lily and Lily. I don't think anybody's met the other person, so. If I can get Lily to confirm she's attending May 13th, I think it would be great if the full commission could honor her
How do
term.
we do that? This is a question for the commission.
And I'll put it on the
Just-
agenda at the April meeting, but I'm just raising this as a start thinking about it.
In addition to just a thank you letter and a verbal thank you, should we consider a plaque or something that we should extend to the student?
Yeah, you can consider a plaque for service, that's.
I certainly can think of a letter that she can use for her resume. But I think it would be a nice touch to present her with something from the commission.
What about a framed certificate?
Something,
That might be another option.
yeah.
I'm happy to work with
Mhm.
Jay to get something
Yeah.
ready in April. So
Okay,
we
Yeah, I
can
think we just
award it
need-
or give it to her in May if she comes in May. I don't know
Right, right.
what her plans are, but
Okay.
we'll work, try to figure out.
great. Anything else with calendar? Any other items?
Am I missing anything?
It looks very complete.
Can I, and just interject a question about the, Black History Month Day Parade? Did some of us attend?
Mhm. Yes, we did not march in the parade
Oh, we
this
did
year.
not march.
We did
Oh,
not march,
okay.
but some of us were in attendance,
I see.
participated in some of the events,
So the intent was not to march.
but we did not march this year. Okay, so anything else with calendar? Moving on. Commissioner Regan, can you provide us with a quick update on the presentation for one PS? I believe you're not gonna be able to make that presentation.
Not until April,
And now,
May.
May, I'm sorry.
May.
Correct.
and we did hear from
Didn't we?
Denise, thank you. That, that was not gonna be a problem because they have some liquor center, yeah.
Yeah, I regret that my trip started tomorrow.
Okay, so then let's plan for May, so that we can
Are you hearing me?
deliver that presentation. One PS. Great, thank you.
So are we sending the slide deck out to all the commissioners or
Oh,
do you want
Jay,
to, or
if
what?
you want to, sure.
It looks
Perfect.
great.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. David helped me.
Finally, Commissioner Rimas, thank you for your proposal on the work of area of equity and social justice.
Thank you so much. What Jay passed out earlier today was my suggested proposal for the liaison work in connection with equity and social justice. So I'll go ahead and read it to the commission. And it's just a suggestion, and I welcome all your feedback, and it's very broad too. So it's the Palm Springs Human Rights Commission's Equity and Social Justice Liaison will advise the Human Rights Commission on social justice and equity issues to address systemic racism and other equity issues. The Equity and Social Justice Liaison will attend meetings that are sponsored by the City of Palm Springs and Palm Springs area organizations if they may relate to social justice and equity matters. The Equity and Social Justice Liaison will also take directions from the Human Rights Commission on matters related to social justice and equity issues as they deem necessary. So it's very broad. I think there definitely is a need for it, considering what has been going on with the Palm Springs Police Department. I'm not accusing anybody or within the Palm Springs Police Department of doing anything wrong. But if you just simply Google Palm Springs Police Department, you see there's various articles, like for example, on February 26, 2024, there was an article in the Palm Springs Post regarding a town hall meeting regarding, it says Palm Springs residents in northern part of city voice shift in policing priorities as town hall meetings kick off. So I think maybe there might be a need for like a representative from the commission there, just to see what's going on and feel things out and report back to the commission. That's just one example. And that article was published on February 26th, so that wasn't that long ago. There are other articles too, and again, I do not want to accuse anybody doing anything wrong within the Palm Springs Police Department. They're, from what I understand and know, they're a great group, a great police force, but I just think there's sometimes maybe participation might be needed from the Palm Springs Human Rights Commission.
And what you mean by participation is essentially joining these events,
Yes,
listening to what's being
listening
said,
and take back the information back to the commission.
and then reporting back to the commission
Yes.
what it was presented.
Yes.
Those meetings.
Mhm.
I don't see any problem with that.
I could just also clarify what those meetings are, so for public, the police did meetings in 5 parts of the city. And they've done this second year in a row, and they invite everybody there to give feedback, on what they think their policing priorities are in that area. So I do think that would be, appropriate for the commission to go and see, what they're hearing from the public. And I think that would be a great use, but just to clarify, I didn't know they reported on the northern end of Palm Springs, but it happened throughout the city, so that everybody's clear. But you're absolutely right, there's meetings going on, we had a master parks planning. And I think it would be great for someone from the commission to have been at that meeting, just to see what the feedback is. And we have a lot of different community meetings that would be great.
And so the proposal is that you, Commissioner Rimas, will be the liaison. Right?
Yes.
You raise your hand.
Yes, if I could make, it. If the commission approves.
That's wonderful. Okay, anyone has anything to say about that?
I just had 2 questions. I mean, this is the first time I've seen the proposal, so just curious, do you know which Palm Springs area organization exists that may relate to social justice and equity matters?
Well, they do have some meetings about social justice and equity issues. And there's a variety. I just don't want to put anything on the table now because the commission hasn't committed yet to the position, but they do exist.
Okay,
I mean, I could go on and on and on and be here for like another 2 hours, but I don't think people have that kind of time.
So if we agree as a commission that you would become the liaison, et cetera, you can then
Yes.
introduce us to what you
What are-
identified.
What are the issues? If there are any issues, and bring it back to the commission, period, and then wait for the commission to see if they want to do anything at all.
But do you have a process in mind to identify these?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a process in mind to identify these various organizations?
Yes, I do.
For example, I mean, the
Yes, I
police
do.
duties, I can understand where that would be.
Yes, I would like to introduce that next month.
Wonderful.
Okay.
do you know wasn't there an equity and social justice committee
There was, but I
Did-
don't know what.
disbanded?
There were 2 years.
It was
I
a
don't-
city committee, was it not?
Yes.
And do we know, do we have access to
From what I
its work?
understand, there hasn't been a meeting in a while.
Well, it's gone. I know it's gone. It's disbanded. It doesn't exist anymore. But does anybody have access to anything that its minutes?
Well, so I believe 2 of our commissioners were part of that committee. And they reported back that they hadn't attended any meetings. So that went on for a while. But I think they're both gone now. They're
Right.
not on the commission anymore. And I haven't heard any updates on that committee.
Did you know? But the city clerk or somebody in the city government
Right,
would
I asked,
have,
and they said it hasn't been active in months.
but it existed.
Yes,
And
it
they
did.
must have met at least once. And did it not produce official minutes as required by law? And
I'm-
do we not have access to, or would our liaison not have access to that?
I'd have to ask. And I don't know that it was a Brown Act body.
Yeah,
Really?
it wouldn't necessarily have minutes, but it sounds like it should. But I don't know who the makeup was of it, but the city has various non-standing subcommittees and things like that. They're ad hoc, if they're roundtables, they don't always have minutes to them. So if it was an ongoing standing subcommittee, then it would have had minutes.
Okay.
So.
You know, I'd like to add something. So, Chief Andy Mills is very visible in the community and does a very good job. And I'm just reading the article that you were referring to. Andy Mills is going around to the 4 different districts of Palm Springs. He has on their notebooks where people put dots about what their biggest problems are. I would just suggest to you that policing issues may be an issue or a perception of an issue in the northern part of the city, but in the rest of the city, I think there's a great deal of satisfaction. Andy Mills shows up everywhere. Let me finish, please. And what I want to say is that being in the home, looking and focusing on homeless, he has like 3 officers designated to monitor and help out the homeless to try to relocate them. 3 officers designated. So he really, does a lot for the city, and I just want to point that out.
Yeah, no, it's very notable, that he's absolutely active and out there and it's supposed. But the point that is in front of us is to approve, Commissioner Rimas and basically sign the Commissioner Rimas to be that liaison. They can be actively participating in these events and coming back and reporting on what's been said, et cetera. So I am putting a motion forward to say yes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, so we have multiple seconds. Any discussion? Let's take a vote. Raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations, Commissioner Rimas.
Thank you.
You're now officially the liaison for this work. Thank
We
you.
need to meet for another meeting.
Thank you, Mayor. We
Thank you all.
appreciate
Thank
your
you for all
time.
your work.
Thank you. We appreciate you being here with us. Item 8I is discuss the agenda format, and this, I believe, was work that Vice Chair Vignola put together. Would you like to give us a little background on this?
Sure, in your packet. The last page, it's simply, and I don't take credit for it, it's the agenda format used by the Measure J Commission, and I just thought it was pretty simple, and I'm recommending that we adopt the same format of 10 items, 1 through 10, for our future use, starting in April. Again, I don't know if other commission boards and committees use the same format, but I plagiarized and took it from Measure J Commission. So they seem happy with it, and I thought, well, great.
So what I would ask, because it looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
What I would ask is if any commissioner has strong feelings that this wouldn't work for our commission. Or argue against this proposal. Because as far as I'm concerned,
Does not the adjournment have to be number 11?
Hmm?
I think that.
adjournment is number 11.
I think it has to be 11.
Well, it could be 11.
No, I mean, I think it has to have a number because.
I don't know that they do, but
Yeah, because your item 10 becomes the member comments and requests.
there should be a space between 10 and the word adjournment.
So
Whether we have it as number 11
Yeah, it
or
has to
not.
be something that is done.
Number 10 would include then the agenda items for the next HRC meeting. Requests, is that right, under number 10?
Agenda items for the next meeting.
Yeah. Because I think that's a pretty important agenda item.
So that would be number 11, the items for next meeting.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we did have to add.
We
that.
could make it a separate item
Yeah,
if you
Yes,
really
because we need to-
want. Or other committees, commissions and boards simply make it part of new business. So, I mean, there are two different approaches. It's just,
you know.
the more we put on the agenda, the more bureaucratic it looks.
Well, this is one item, but I think separating it,
Okay, we
points out the
can,
opportunity to commissioners to be able to influence the next agenda.
Mhm.
so do you want that to be number 11? Agenda items for the next Human Rights Committee?
That would be my
Commission meeting?
recommendation.
That's fine. I can, no big deal.
And just looking at our current agenda, adjournment does have a number, so we need to keep a number for that item. Any further comments on this?
I have one, some agendas have, old business. As a number. Do you want to think about that?
What is old business?
That's what I mean. We don't know. Some unfinished, maybe, unfinished business. From the last, if you're working on something and it's not done yet. You bring it up, it's not new business.
But
You
it's a-
started somewhere down
Is
the
it a
line.
new agenda item for the
Any-
next meeting?
I mean, that's the way the city attorney describes it, right? Anything that's not finished that needs to be pushed to the next meeting, gets pushed to the next meeting as a new agenda
Agenda
item.
item, so they can be discussed and voted upon.
So, I mean, that's how,
Well, it just shows up on the agenda again if we're gonna discuss it again, or if there's no action. And it's postponed to the next meeting, it just is listed on the agenda again. We actually don't have, oh, well, I guess we do. On this format, there's the new business, but we haven't been using that.
Well, as long as it's on the agenda, that it should be continued, yes, it's fine.
And as a reminder to everyone, if it's not in the agenda, cannot discuss it, we cannot take a vote.
so I think, yeah, I think if we don't finish discussion of something at a meeting, we should, when we get to defining what the next agenda items are for next month, we should be sure to say, let's carry this forward to the next meeting and list it as an agenda item. Move it over.
I would question, new business does kind of put us into that box of having it as new business, whereas then we have items for discussion / action. And I see that there's discussion items also, which is fine. On discussion / action, that kind of leaves it open for a vote. I think if it's under just discussion, those items, we'd end up having to push to the next meeting, to vote on. So just some considerations as to convenience. And, I can tell you items for discussion / action. I know it strays from probably normal agendas, but that was a recommendation of a past city manager to structure the agenda that way. Of course, you can go with any format you like and want to adopt.
Well, I would love to keep it very simple and straightforward.
So you're
You're
saying, just
saying-
make it discussion item / agenda,
Yeah.
I mean, action.
For new business.
Yeah, like number
But it's
8.
saying that new business is superfluous, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay, big word, but yes.
So strike
I
number 8.
wouldn't strike it, I would just change it so that it's.
We don't need it, so we have discussion items.
Discussion and
Discussion /
Well,
action items. and
Substitute,
no new
substitute
business.
number 8 of our current agenda for new business. The items for discussion action is what we currently have. Just
Yeah,
change the new
discussion
business.
/ action items and eliminate new business.
So that's what I mean, get rid of new
Yeah.
business and just leave.
Yeah.
Items for discussion / action.
Yeah.
Is that what we want?
Yeah. And then.
So we're
add an agenda
striking-
item for
We're
number-
striking new business.
That's fine.
That makes it simple.
All right. So we could just revise this and our next agenda will reflect these changes,
Excellent.
okay?
That looks fine, thank you.
Any additional discussion in this? So motion to move with this recommendation, second. Commissioner Greer moves, second Commissioner Horn, any further discussion? Let's take a vote. Aye. Thank you. Number 9, Jay, any report from our staff liaison?
I was just gonna report out on the open commission recruitment process, but Mayor already covered that pretty thoroughly. I would just add one bit of information the city clerk provided this morning was she's already received 27 applications, so we need to get the word out. Yeah,
Wow.
For our commission?
not for, for all commissions.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Wonderful. Thank you so much for reminding us.
Mhm.
So Jay, I think part of the problem earlier with the public comment thing
Mhm.
was the email that came out this morning from
It was based on the,
the email that came out
Executive.
this morning. I guess that comes from Amy Blaisdell.
It's system generated as my,
Oh.
I think.
Well, the link to view the Human Rights Commission regular agenda packet is broken.
Okay.
So that would prevent any member of the public from
Mm,
getting access to our agenda packet. So perhaps
Right.
in the
Yeah, I-
future, we can
I
ask you
checked
to
it
check it.
before this meeting and it was working.
Really?
It did
Because I get
take a
page
while.
not found.
I received that too, but then I waited and then it loaded.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
Sounds like a technical
I was
issue.
hoping that if you went directly to the website, that you could download the agenda,
You can.
as opposed to using your phone. The same thing happened to me. I thought it was just a defect in the phone.
This is an email that gets
Mm.
generated by, and
I know.
if you subscribe to receive notice
I
of
know.
meetings.
Right.
So many members of the public may have subscribed to be notified of our meetings. And would click on this hyperlink, and if it doesn't work, they can't get to the,
Unless the hyperlink was typed in incorrectly for this particular email.
maybe,
Yeah,
but point is.
You know, on my desktop, it worked. I haven't tried it on my
Oh,
phone.
I
I
don't
don't know if it's a memory capacity
All right.
issue, but
Well, let's find out if something is broken, we just need to let
mhm.
whoever manages that system know. So it can get fixed as soon as possible. So that's that from our staff liaison. Jay, which items did we identify for our next meeting?
Yet,
We did.
well, this is an opportunity for anybody to
yeah.
identify an item that they want to
No,
be
we've already
considered next
identified a couple.
meeting.
I have one. I'd like to hear more about the mediation coursework and more from Commissioner Flood. I know you had brought it up previously, but I think we need to formalize applications in order to recreate that function in addition to yourself.
Yes, with Riverside County, the CAP program, the Community Action Program, I think, is the one that puts that out. And I think there's a one out there now on the website for applications for training to start sometime in the spring. I think.
What is it called?
It's CAP, and for the first word is community, and I think it's
action.
Action.
That's-
Partnership, Community Action Partnership, Riverside County. And they put out the word that they do need people to apply for this, and it's usually a 2 or 3 month course. So they need help though. Right now, again, as I said before, my involvement is mostly with small claims court.
How often does the course meet? Or I can go into that detail.
The course for
The course, yeah.
twice a year.
Okay, and weekly or,
No, I mean, it's like every 6 months or so, something like that.
okay.
And it runs about 2.5,
And
3
the
months.
frequency of those meetings, that's okay, I'll look it up.
So what's the agenda? I'm unclear as to what your,
Well, I wanted to hear a little bit more detail about the mediation process and,
from whom?
well, from Commissioner Flood, and then also to understand a little more about the process that you would have for handling these cases that were out of the Human Rights Committee, not out of the Small Claims Court.
Okay, I'm not sure I understand.
Well,
I want to know about the course, a little bit
But
more
who's gonna-
information about.
Who's gonna talk about that?
well, you need to really go through to the community action
Okay.
program.
Okay,
That's the,
Yeah.
we can put it on the agenda. We can task our staff liaison to provide a report on how the Human Rights Commission deals with mediation. Or we can task Commissioner Flood to do it, but we have to be clear what we are putting on the agenda for next meeting. Otherwise, we'll just be spinning our wheels, talking about, and not really giving you what you want, so.
Right, I don't think I would be in a position to fill in all the blanks,
okay.
because it involves a whole bunch of different things, in mediation, community, disputes, HOAs and things like that. I don't know if the commission the Human Rights Commission really gets involved enough. But
Okay.
we had something that dealt with things that we covered that might come up to us, but still would go through another system before it even came to us.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, Commissioner Hugo, President here, that in the city code, there's like 1.5 pages on mediation. Who's doing it? How do we do it? And, you know, is this a function that we would need other commissioners to be certified for? So that would be kind of the discussion.
Okay, maybe that's the agenda item for the
Yeah.
commission to discuss how it sees its role in fulfilling what is statutorily required of
Which
us.
is referral and mediation of complaints.
Okay, we can add that as
As an agenda item?
yeah,
However,
And write
but
it-
for the whole commission to think about,
Well, that was
And
the
bring to
reason
the
I was,
table.
when it first came up about 4 years ago, I guess, and they wanted, the person that was on the commission for a while, I guess departed somewhere, and so they needed, there was a vacancy, so, myself and former Commissioner Ramadan did that, and so, we both qualified, got certified, and one of the things they said, well, how about going to the Superior Court to be a mediator? So that was, it just left us away, it took us away from the commission most of the time.
Would this fit under the work of the ad hoc committee looking at the municipal code?
I think it definitely would, I think it's only should be delayed until we come back with the review of the whole municipal code.
I mean, I think
Because That's a very big factor.
I think it could
of
both.
that.
I mean, I think, I won't speak for you, but I think it would be helpful for the commission between now and next month, think about where do we see ourselves and what role do we see ourselves playing in mediation? Just that basic question, maybe that we all have the current statute now, we can take a look at it and be prepared to have a robust discussion next month on what role do we see this commission playing in terms of mediation. That will help us
Sure. Yeah.
look
let's
at the
have a discussion.
statute.
Let's have a discussion.
Does that work for you, Commissioner? Reed?
Absolutely.
Right, so think about that, and when we meet next month, we'll have a discussion about what we think the role and, you know, provide perhaps even some suggestions and recommendations for the ad hoc committee who will be looking at,
The
at that,
statute,
at the statute.
Absolutely.
Yes.
that's our first agenda, what else?
We have to.
We have Commissioner Rima's presentation
On the process.
on the process.
We'll add that as a second agenda item.
Mhm.
And the slide deck for 1PS, that can be sent out to everyone through Jay and they can comment on the deck.
Do you want us
Does
to
it have to go-
discuss your slide deck at next month's meeting?
Well,
Okay.
you can provide us with a quick preview and we
Okay.
can give you
Let's-
feedback
let's
right
do
in and there.
So we'll carry that forward to
Okay.
next month.
So that could be a presentation
Yes,
item.
okay.
Also maybe a presentation by Chair Armstrong on the art installation. Quite possibly. And by then, we'll probably know about Harvey Milk, right? And the table.
Yeah, I'll call Ron tomorrow and find out. And if I do get a table,
Yeah,
who's gonna, who would like to be?
that's the key, is like, we need to make sure that we can say, yes, I'm gonna be there, or no, I can't be there. And if we cannot be there, then maybe Commissioner Flo doesn't need to buy,
Empty chair, I'll go.
he doesn't need to buy another ticket and your guest to be there with us, maybe, right?
All right, I'll let you know.
And those are the items that I think.
Honor
we identified.
Lily, possible honor.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
that's a very important one. How do we honor Lily?
That will, we could talk about it in April, but it'll happen in May,
Yeah, but
if she shows up.
but we walk away in April agreeing on what that
I
is.
thought we were gonna fund it.
Anything else?
Speak now or forever hold your peace,
Or wait until April
or wait until April.
and bring your questions to April. If there's nothing else to discuss, I would like to move to adjourn this meeting. Anyone wants to I'm motion to adjourn. Anyone wants to second that?
Second,
Okay, so we have a second by Commissioner Remus. Any further discussion? Let's vote to adjourn. Okay. The commission will adjourn to a regularly scheduled meeting on Monday, April the 8th, 2024. Thank you very much. You yourself. Good night. Thanks for the call.
I will see you.